Thursday or Friday Eve, and I'm home, and it's almost 5, and I'm finally cooking something different this week. Woo! So earlier in the week, I made beef burgers, and we've been eating on those all week. And then Caitlin and I had Subway the other night because I had curriculum night, and I was hungry, and I wanted a little something, so I had part of a sandwich, and then I had the rest of it for lunch the next day. So tonight, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with that leftover barbecue chicken. Here is what I'm making. We're going to have barbecue chicken pizza, but I'm making my own dough, and it's super easy. Do not be totally impressed because I have a KitchenAid mixer here that I got for something, I think Christmas. I got for Christmas, gosh, I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. Best present ever. I love it. It does amazing things. This summer I discovered all the awesome things you can do with it besides just mixing up cookies, cakes, bread, stuff like that. It has, do you see this little hook thingy here? Let's see if I can show you this a little better. See? This is a dough hook. Yeah, you can totally make dough with it. Pizza dough, bread dough, whatever. Okay, so we're going to let it do all the work. In my mixing bowl, I have, I don't know if you can see that. Kind of see the gushy stuff there. I have 4½ teaspoons of Quick-Rise yeast. Just this jar is what I get from the store, and you keep it in the fridge when it's opened. 2 cups of warm water, 115 degrees, and 2 teaspoons of sugar, and you let it sit for 10 minutes. It gets all foamy and frothy. That means it's ready. The timer has beeped, so it is ready. Let me put it back on here. To this, you are going to add 5 cups of bread flour. So I'll do that. And also a 1/4 cup of olive oil, like so. I'll throw that in. And a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I've got my little measuring spoons right here. Those are my teaspoon. It's my teaspoon of salt. Throw it in there. Whoop. Probably threw a little on the floor. You know how I roll. Okay, let me get the 5 cups of flour in, and I'll be right back. Here's my last cup of the bread flour going in. And don't mind me, I'm floury too. Okay. Then you're going to lock your mixer blade thingy in and just combine it a little. Okay. Then we're going to let it knead on medium speed for 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, it has kneaded for a while, and it says just knead for 10 minutes until smooth. It came right off the dough blade here, the dough hook. See how easily it came off? And it's nice and shiny and smooth. So I'm gonna take the bowl out. Okay, see how awesome that looks? Nice and smooth. You're gonna cover that with plastic wrap and let it rise for about 30 minutes until the dough has doubled in size. So I'll show you what that looks like. Hi, it's been about 35 minutes. Check out the dough. It has definitely doubled in size. So I'm gonna put it on my dough surface here. Let me see if I can get this to go down so you can see. All right. See, there's my little roller surface. I'm going to see if I can back you up a little bit so you can see that. There we go. Okay, whoop. Tighten up some stuff here. Okay, so you're just gonna put a little bit of flour on your surface. I just have this salt sugar here to hold this mat down. This is a Tupperware mat from a long time ago when I used to make pie crust all the time, which I don't anymore. Okay, I've taken all my jewelry off because you'll get dough stuck to everything. Take the plastic off. It'll probably get stuck on my fingernails too, but okay. I'm gonna get this out of here, just kind of pulling it out. It should kind of stick to itself. See, it's pulling away from the sides there. Okay. Put that in the glove here. Okay. Get it out of here. All you have to do now is divide it into 4 dough balls, and you can put them in the freezer, which is what I do. I'm going to make 2 pizzas tonight. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm going to make 2 pizzas, so I'm going to have 2 dough balls out and 2 2 dough balls in the freezer. Bleh. So what I like to do is use my scale. Let me go grab that. I'll put a little piece of this plastic wrap on here so it doesn't stick to the scale. And I use my little crinkle cutter. Well, if I can get it off, that is. Just use that. It's a lot like the dough blade that we use when I worked at Little Caesars and made the dough. So I'm just gonna kind of. I'd be smart if I just put the whole thing on there and then weighed that. I measured my whole glob of dough and it was 46.28 ounces. And I divided it by 4, so that's like 11.57 ounces for each dough ball. So I'm gonna make it pretty close. All right, let me show you how I get this to look like this. Okay, so I did work in a pizza place for like 6 years while I was going through college. So you just kind of roll it under, kind of squish it under, and then kind of gather it up together. See how it looks like that at the bottom? Kind of pinch it together. Then you've got a nice dough ball. Do that one more time. So kind of squish it under, kind of squish it together, pinch it. There you go. Dough ball. Easy peasies. Okay, I've got 2 freezer bags labeled with today's date. I just grabbed 2 dough balls, 1 for this bag. Zip it up, get some of the air out. This one. Put it what's in there. Zip it up. Go in the freezer, and I'll show you how to roll these out. Okay, you don't actually need to use the rolling pin at all. You can just kind of flatten it down. I have sprayed my pizza pans with some olive oil spray. I just throw them in the center, like that. I can try this wheel. And just kind of, here we go. Kind of smush it around from the center to the outside. And just kind of smoosh it out. Now you want to be kind of careful not to rip it, because if you make a hole, you're going to have to repair it. Otherwise, you're going to have sauce leaking through your crust. Just kind of work it to the outside, and it's very elastic. So you might, sorry, I keep moving the wrong way. I like to work it out to the outside of my pan. As much as I can. It will shrink back in a little. And then I let it sit for just a little bit and warm up. So there's one. This one will be a little thinner. My husband really likes thin crust though. So just kind of evenly squish it around. You get your frustrations with this, because you can't be really too aggressive while you're squishing it. Kind of just work it to the outside of your pan. Squishy, squish it. If you want a pan pizza, throw it in like a cake pan. Get nice and thick. I've got my oven heating at 450 right now. The recipe actually says to put it at 500, which is a little much. So I've never done it that high. You can if you want to, but I have great luck at 450. I had a little bit of a hole, so I had to kind of squish it together. Okay. So this one's shrinking back more because it's a bigger pan. So I'm gonna just beat it into submission. Okay. There. Looking pretty good. And like I said, if you just let it sit for a few minutes and let it warm up a little more, it'll be more forgiving. Just kind of work it to the edges. While that's sitting there, see, that one looks pretty good. And this one, it did look better. Now it's shrinking in a little more. I'll just let it sit for a little bit. It's okay. I have 1 pizza's worth of sauce right here because I'm going to make 1 just cheese pizza for my daughter and whoever else wants it. And then another one that's a barbecue chicken pizza. And for that one, you don't need sauce because the barbecue sauce will be the sauce. See how that works? And I've got 2 bags of shredded mozzarella. Here is my leftover barbecue chicken. Ooh, perfect for a pizza. Perfect amount. I've got a ladle to spread the sauce with and a spoon to scoopy scoop the barbecue chicken. Alrighty, let's get to work. Okay, let me give you the recipe for the sauce because yes, I make my own sauce too. I know, I'm amazing. Whatever. It's not that hard, really. Follow a recipe and cook it. Let me get it. Yeah, I'm back because it was right here. Okay, for the ultimate pizza sauce, that's what it's called, you need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1.5 cups of onion, finely chopped. And I like pulverize the crud out of the onion and just make it a paste because my husband hates the texture of onion but likes the flavor. So he doesn't want to feel the onion in his mouth. Totally get that. You can put celery in it. I don't. 1 garlic clove. Recommend that. Fresh garlic is the best. An 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, an 8-ounce can of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. You can use the sprinkle kind out of the Kraft sprinkly thing, or you can get the shreddy kind like I've gotten before. Both work. A teaspoon of dried basil, excuse me, a teaspoon of dried oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a small bay leaf, and it says 1 teaspoon of fennel seed. I do not have fennel seed. I've never used it, but I've heard it's really, really good in the sauce. So if you like kind of a licorice-y kind of flavor, I guess it adds another layer of flavor. So try that. It's supposed to be super good. So here are the directions, and I will totally put the recipe down below for you. So in a large skillet, you melt the butter with the oil. You add the onion, celery if you use it, the minced up garlic, which I just use my garlic press and squeeze it. You saute until the garlic and the celery and the onion are soft and transparent. Then you're going to add the sauce and the paste, the tomatoes, and stir until smooth. Add the rest of the ingredients, which would be like the Parmesan cheese, the seasonings, the bay leaf, and the fennel seed, and then bring to a slow simmer. You can simmer it for a while, or you can just use it right now. You don't have to wait. Take the bay leaf out. You don't want to eat that. And then it makes enough for 2 pizzas. I was making 1 pizza because my daughter wasn't interested in pizza. She would eat something else. And so my husband and I just split a pizza, and then the leftovers went in the fridge for the next day. So the rest of the sauce would go in this little perfect size container that came from Blue Apron or something. Anyway, this is the perfect amount for 1 pizza. So I'm going to show you how that goes together. So the dough has been sitting for just a little bit. So I'm pressing it to the sides. All right, so this crust looks fabulous. Let's do this one too because it's shrinky dink. So now that it's sat for a little bit, it rose a tiny bit. It's poofier and it's much softer and easier to move. So we just carefully, I keep moving too close and you can't see. There. This one will be a little thicker because it's a smaller pan, of course. All right, beautiful. Ooh. Now, one thing I would tell you, take a fork or the end of your whatever and poke a little bit. Otherwise, it might bubble up in the middle. Okay. Now, this one, I'll put some sauce on. It is very thick. Okay, and just spread it around. Okay, and just spread it around. This is nice and thick, so it doesn't run. That's why I can hold it up like this. And so obviously put as little or as much sauce as you want. I like to have a lot of sauce because it does bake into the crust. It smells so good with the fresh ingredients in it. Oh my goodness. And what I love about this is you know what's in it. You know there's no yucky stuff, no yucky chemicals. It's all fresh and homemade. So there we go. I just need to throw some cheese on this one and it's good to go. I'm going to try to get it to the edge a little more. Working it, working it. Work that sauce. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Throw that in there. All right. Beautiful. Put that over here. Okay. You can also use this dough to make breadsticks. Tasty. Okay, throw that in there. Barbecue chicken pizza. So I have this much barbecue chicken left over. This is the kind that I made in the crock pot. I just put some chicken breasts and some barbecue sauce, and I can link the recipe for that again. Very simple. We had sandwiches with this a couple different times. So there's, I don't know, a cup, maybe a cup and a half of barbecue chicken left. Plop it on the dough and scrape out all you can get. Okay, and then just smear it around to the edges of the pizza, to the edges of your dough. Oh, so smelly. It smells good in a good way, not in a bad way. All right. This is what happens after teaching first graders for 4 days in a row and knowing that you have work tomorrow too. All right, so we spread the barbecue chicken all over. I have a little bit of thick spots. Move it around a little bit. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be awesome, and it's homemade, so who cares, right? It's going to be tasty no matter what you do. Okay, now comes the cheese. Cheese it up. Now, you don't have to use mozzarella. You can use whatever the heck you want. It's your pizza. A blend would be good too, like Italian. That would be tasty, especially on just the cheese one. I like to do like a 5-cheese Italian cheese blend. But right now we have mozzarella, so that's what we're going with. Let's kind of dump it on there and smear it around. This is the finely shredded. Do you guys remember those Kraft commercials when they came up with the finely shredded cheese? They'd say, oh, Kraft finely shredded cheese. Like they finally shredded it instead of it's finely shredded. Yeah, it was cheesy. Yeah, I know, bad. So punny. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Maybe a few little tweaks here. I don't know, I like to cover up the meat so it doesn't get too toasty. All right, you're gonna bake this for about 20 minutes on the top rack of your oven. Okay, there's pizza number 1. Isn't it gorgeous? It's not delivery, and it's not DiGiorno. It's your pizza. It's your no. Okay, that was dumb, but whatever. Okay, throw the rest of the cheese on this one, because this is the yummy, yummy just cheese pizza. And to this one, I might put a little parsley on top, just to be fancy. And yes, we do have fresh parsley over there on the window ledge. Oh, you know, my daughter would love basil. Let's do basil instead. She would just really, really love it. Okay, let me cover up the sauce as much as I can. With fresh herbs, you want to put them on toward the end, otherwise they'll burn. So that's something that I would put on maybe the last 5 minutes of baking, maybe the last 7 minutes of baking. So we'll put this on here now. If you're doing dried, you can put it on there now. It won't care. But the fresh will just shrivel up and die on you. And it'll look really gnarly and probably burn. So nobody wants that. That'll ruin your pizza. Ew. After all the work you went to? No, we're not doing that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Get some of that off the crust. Okay. Beautiful pizza number 2. Alrighty. Pop those in the oven and I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Barbecue pizza, cheese pizza, tasty, yummy, bon appetit. My daughter wanted pineapple on hers, so you pizza purists out there, don't be offended. Anything goes with pizza, just like sandwiches and hamburgers. Pineapple is really good on pizza, honestly. And here's the barbecue pizza all nice and cut up. And I may put a little bit of this on this because it would be really tasty. So I think you will enjoy whatever you make with this yummy pizza dough recipe and sauce. Enjoy. Pizza it up.